Was because when I'm in Ottawa, I've heard time and again from our current Minister of Agriculture that farmers across Canada fully support the Liberals' carbon tax. And I am vehemently opposed to the carbon tax, so I just wanted to make sure that if you are going to boo me because you do support the carbon tax, let her fly right now, because the Agriculture Minister seems to believe that you do. And the numbers from the Parliamentary Budget Officer, even though we've been asking the Prime Minister and the Agriculture Minister to come clean and tell us, you know, I think farmers and ranchers and our producers and our agri-food processors deserve, they've earned the right to know what this carbon tax is going to cost them. And I know my good friend, the Agriculture Minister, Stewart, is going to do everything he possibly can to fight this with Premier Moe, and hopefully we'll have some support in Alberta in a year from now with Jason Kenney. And now we have some more allies in Ontario with Doug Ford, which is great. The average wheat farmer in Saskatchewan, an average farm, is going to see a bill of $20,000 a year in carbon taxes. $20,000. A rancher in Alberta, $13,000. A pork producer in Manitoba, $36,000. You're a potato farmer in Prince Edward Island? Don't worry. The Agriculture Minister hasn't forgotten about you either. An additional $20,000 in carbon taxes each and every year. Now, your group has been exceptionally vocal when it comes to issues that are impacting you, and I want to thank the work that you have done, and I hope that you will continue the work that you've done on the carbon tax and fighting against the carbon tax, which you and your members have been extremely vocal on, and I appreciate that, because we can, as members of Parliament, Randy and I, we can do so much. But we want to be there to be augmenting your voice and talking about the issues that are important to you. And that's why it was so important for us to be here today. As you know, we rose yesterday. I'm on my way back to Alberta, but I wanted to stop here at the Farm Progress Show. It was an opportunity for me to speak with, you know, literally dozens of agriculture manufacturers downstairs. It's an opportunity for me to speak with you tonight and get the pulse of how you're feeling about some of these issues that are really impacting you. The carbon tax, NAFTA, CPTPP, one issue where you do have to take a lot of thanks on our behalf, and that was the small business tax changes that came up last fall. And I want to be honest with you. This was some tax changes where obviously, as you know, we're going to make your succession planning very, very difficult, more difficult, increase your taxes. But this was really targeted to doctors, lawyers, accountants, and probably most of us really wouldn't have cared if they increased taxes on doctors, lawyers, and accountants. But when small business owners and farmers and ranchers stood up and said, enough, this is going to be the end of the family farm in Canada, that's when the narrative started to change. So thank you to each and every one of you in this room. We could not have gotten them to back down on these changes were it not for the work that you all did. Meg's doing your videos. For those of you doing letters to MP ridings, to your MPs, for those of you who sent letters to the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister, thank you for everything you did. Because of your efforts, it forced them to back down, trying to get the CPTPP signed. These are some of the things we'll be focusing on in the fall when we get back in session. But I just want to say thank you very much for all the work that you have done over this past year to help us get that message across, whether it be the carbon tax, small business tax changes, C-49, the transportation bill, and the grain backlog. We can't do it without you, so continue to reach out to us, because we know, and Andrew Scheer, our leader, knows, because that's why he has two of us. There's actually two shadow ministers in agriculture, myself and Luc Berthold in Quebec, because we understand how integral agriculture is to the Canadian economy and how important it is for our rural communities to be successful. But we want to hear from you next fall. Thank you for all that you've done this year, but also thank you for everything you do each and every day, the blood, sweat, and tears that you put in to ensure that we not only feed our friends and our neighbors and our country, but we feed people around the world. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to hearing Premier Moe and everything he has to say about his support for the federal carbon tax. So thank you very much.